Alright guys, Gary back again, and today's video we look at Defensor finally in one piece. And here he is. First off, I will say that I think Defensor does look brilliant. Everything about him just says, I'm a big imposing robot, and I'm here to destroy you. If you're a bad guy. But I've got just a few issues with this one. I don't know whether it's solely down to my collection or whether it's a general quality control over the entire line, but as we go through this, hopefully you'll see what I'm on about. So, I think probably the best thing to do is to start at the top and work down. So obviously, first of all, we'll start on the face. And yes, there is a very good reason why I picked him up while holding these chest pieces in. Now, I did say in Hotspot's review that I really did like the face sculpt for Defensor. It just looks amazing. I really love the big policeman's sunglasses there, and the battle damage on either side of his face. If you could just about... There we go. I'm not sure whether that is battle damage or just Cybertronian. But it looks really nice, and like I said, does have full 360-degree turn, no up or down, tiny bit of up or down like I've just found out, but not really anything to shout home about. So the arms for Defensor are made of blades and rook. We've got groove as the chest piece, just for completion's sake, and it does go well together. Groove has a habit of falling out at the slightest touch. He's only held on by the two... I'm going to take him off to show you. He's only held on by those two pins. And, oh, this might be fun trying to get him back in, because I've not done it from this side of the camera. There we go. Now, generally he will stay there, but more often than not he will just fall out. So the arms. Blades and rook. Generally, they have really good posability. You can rotate all the way around, stretch them out that far, and because each of the limbs basically uses the waist of the smaller robot, you get quite a good amount of posability. And twist the waist there, pop that back in because it's just popped open a little bit. You know, it's quite nice. Flips it, well, do it sideways. Flip it quite far back, go quite far forward. The hands I'm not too fond of because they literally are just big plastic. There goes groove. Big plastic bits, and yeah, I'm probably going to end up getting the is it the Perfect Effect? Is it Perfect Effect? The third party hands and feet for this guy. Right, we've got groove back on. The other arm, pretty similar, although because Blades has a habit of his hips popping out, you can guarantee that that's going to happen sooner or later. Lots of plugs for the weaponry to plug into each arm. I can already feel that his hips come out, so there we go. Fault number 1. When you try and move the arms, you generally... Yeah, there you go. Straight away. The plug that keeps the chest piece in place actually comes out way too easily for my liking, and that's on both sides. Same on the back. Which is a little annoying. It's not going to be so bad if you... There we go. It's not so bad if you're literally just going to position him in one spot and never touch him again. Which, more than likely, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him behind my computer. Well, there we go. So in order to properly move the arms, you've pretty much got to support the entire thing. That's the upper body. The legs are... the lower body is my main bugbear for this guy. In robot mode, Defensor has no waist swivel, obviously because of the ladder having to go round him to make his head. Obviously they couldn't think of any other way to do that. When you get down to the hips, it kind of all goes a little bit south. In order for me to get him standing up as straight as he is, I actually had to force the legs back a little bit further than what they would. So you might just have that click there, there goes groove again. So you almost got to have him, or his hips, positioned in almost a pelvic thrust motion. Because otherwise... There we go, perfect example. Otherwise he's just kind of old man with a bad back. In fact, for most of the day I had the... there you go. For most of the day he's actually been positioned in what I've called the old man hotspot pose, where he's using the combined gun as a walking stick. Now, I don't know whether that's just because mine's got weak hips and it can't really support the upper body too well, or it's just a general, all of them are like this, but like I said, I've only seen my one in person, so that's a little disappointing. The hips, because of the wheels on the back of his thighs, they don't have a great forward motion. So you're pretty much guaranteed to hit the bottom of this ladder with these wheels on each side. So your poses are going to kind of be limited to, like I say, slightly overextended back thrust. Which admittedly, it does look really nice and kind of imposing, although now I've lost his face. Or slightly the older power stance. Just like that. There goes groove again. But yeah, see what I mean? The hips just don't want to support him. And the shoulders just don't want to stay in one piece unless I've mistransformed something somewhere, and it's all just going horribly wrong now that the camera's rolling. Both shoulders are like that. Why are both shoulders like that? There we go. There we go. I don't actually know what's now wrong with this. So yeah, if you can get his arms to actually stay in position, he does look pretty cool. The best you can do on the legs, I'm just going to ignore the chest piece now, is either slightly pull out and then push forward, and he doesn't really have that much of a forward motion, and then because of the butt flap that covers the face, you don't really get that much of a back motion. So he can do imposing stood there staring, or a cheeky little kneel down and using the knuckle duster miniguns. But, like I say, other than those small bits, which depending on how well you want to pose him, you might be you might be lucky. You might get or you might get a copy of him who's actually built solidly. Sense of scale. Obviously, that's Groove, and he's a Legends class, so let's see. Honestly, I never had this much trouble trying to get him posed before the camera started rolling. So, sense of scale. See, this is him next to a Legends class. Tiny. This is him next to a Voyager class. And this is him next to Leader class Megatron. And for pure comedy value, MP10, or MP1, Optimus Prime. As I said, overall he is a good looking figure. He's just... arm's just gone again. He's got too many issues for me to gushingly glow about him. But other than that, he will look quite... Screw you, Groove. Screw you. He will look quite nice just behind my computer desk. If Groove ever stays on, I might just superglue him, teach him a lesson. Superglue Groove to the chest. And that's the hip gone again. So, yeah. Defensor. Quite nice to look at. Really, really irritating to stay in position and keep them all pegged together. So, maybe in the next one, Hasbro will... Screw you! Maybe in the next one, Hasbro will make it better. I think Optimus Maximus is the next combiner. I did hear that they were making Bruticus, and that will be interesting, because I did have... There, it's gone again. You know what? Sod it. This was Defensor. He kind of is alright, but not really unless you want to just superglue him into position. If you enjoyed this video and listening to me slightly get irritated at a plastic toy, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more if you want. I'm sure I'm going to get far more irritated with more things that are coming out. So until the next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!